How's it going? Big shooters, heavy hitters, and long steppers. Woo! It's the Dudecool Motovlog. I don't even remember what episode it is. I think it's episode 8. But it's been so long since I've gotten to do one of these, I done forgot. Let's say episode 8, but if it's not, then I'll have to go back and change it later somehow. Yeah, so I don't really have a topic for this one. I mean, it's been, like I said, it's been so long since I haven't been able to do one of these that it just feels good to be out here riding again. Like, it's just been so much rain lately. It just seems like it's, for like a couple weeks now, it's just been like raining pretty much most of the time. And when it's not, the roads are just so wet. And then with the time change now, you know, I get off from work and it's already dark, and it kind of kills the mood a little bit. And just been so busy with work as well that it's just like, I ain't got no time to ride. So now, you know, I'm kind of, you know, I was up early this morning for work, and so now I'm going to take a little lunch break ride, just kind of cruising around. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the last time, I did get to ride somewhere recently. I want to say it was like last week sometime, but it was kind of like really drizzly, and it was dark, so it was kind of not the best kind of scenario for riding. So now, you know, like the roads are all dried up and it's daylight, so I can ride. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've been missing this. It's crazy, you know, something that, you know, 4 months ago I didn't even do, and now it's like when I don't do it for like a couple weeks, you really miss it. It's crazy how like something so new you can really miss. But yeah, so it's good to be out here riding. Ooh, in the countryside we got some fall colors. Got to be a little careful because there might be some leaves on the ground, and I might just slip and slide around, and I don't really want that. Last time I rode in the day, I did take a little bit of a spill, and that's kind of part of the reason why I haven't gotten to ride much lately, because I had to wait for the parts. You know, that's the one downside of a vintage Triumph, is that it's a little bit harder to get the parts for it. So yeah, so don't be too concerned. No, I mean, the spill wasn't bad. It was a very low speed, and I decided I was going to try and do a little off-roading. It did not work out in my favor. I hit a little trough on the trail, and whoop, just rolled over, you know, bike just kind of laid over on the side. So yeah, I was probably going, you know, less than 5 miles an hour when that happened, so it wasn't really a bad deal, but it was enough to break the front brake lever. And I can't really ride this thing without my front brakes. It's just like the rear brakes will stop it, but I really, you know, I mean, this thing's an old bird, and the brakes are already, you know, they're not modern brakes, so they already have kind of a strike against them. So it's like, I don't want to try and ride around with less than half my stopping power, because more than half of it is probably in the front. I mean, I think that's what they say, is that most of your stopping power is in the front, just based on how the motorcycle kind of leans forward when you're stopping. So more of the weight's going to be hitting the front tire anyway, so that's really where a lot of your braking power is. So it's like, yeah, figured it wouldn't be a good idea to ride around without that, so I had to get that. And then so I finally got that in, but then I had to get another piece that I didn't realize, so that kind of set me back another half week. And then the time I finally got the parts, that's when all the rain came. So I think it's been about a month since I've been able to do like a good decent ride. The Chattahoochee River just looks nice and calm today. So nice. But yeah, so that kind of makes me think that maybe I need a secondary bike, so that if I have to work on one, I still got another one to ride. So I'm still kind of thinking about what I want to go with, you know. I mean, there's always, I mean, the Bonneville, a new modern Bonneville is always going to be in the equation, I think. I mean, that's just kind of, I think that's just always going to be on my mind, like looking at those. But you know, still also thinking about getting like a dual sport, just to, you know, it seemed like they'd be a lot of fun. And something like that, though, I'd want to find it for a reasonable price. So, you know, I don't want a new one. I just want something that kind of futz around on, so that's another possibility. I did look at like a modern Tiger. It was a 2001, but like it's a really tall bike, and I guess they had done some suspension work on it because it was lifted up. I mean, you know, I'm a pretty tall guy. I mean, I'm 6'1", although in fairness, a lot of my height, or more of my height, is in my upper body than in my lower body. So I have, like, you know, only a 32-inch inseam, which for someone of my height is probably not a whole lot, but I mean, still would be like bit more than the average man would have. But still, like, I was on my tiptoes on this thing, and I'm like, I can't ride around on a bike where I have to be like on my tiptoes to be able to like reach my feet to the ground. That just sounds like a recipe for dropping the bike. It's, you know, if I'm on like a hill or something, you know, it just seems like a bad idea. So can't roll with that. But I do kind of like the idea of like the speed triple or the street triple. Like, those just kind of look like they look like interesting bikes. And so at some point, you know, when I finally get some time to go and look at them, I might have to go and look at one of those or both of those, just kind of see how those fit. But I do think at some point I would like to get some, you know, another bike, something a little bit more modern, maybe something I can commute more on. Of course, pull out in front of me. Why not? It's not like there's someone riding here in a very vulnerable position. No problem. At least they sped up though, so I didn't really have to get on the brakes. I guess I can't be too mad. You know, if someone's gonna pull out in front of me, if they speed up to the point where I don't really have to brake, you know, I'm not really that mad at them. But if I have to like get on my brakes, then it's like, all right, buddy. The thing that really annoys me though is when someone pulls out in front of you, like they're in a rush to pull out in front of you, but then they go slow, and it's like, well, wait a minute, where'd that rush go? Like, you're in a rush to inconvenience me, but then once you're in front of me, you want to go slow to inconvenience me more? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I just don't get it. So, I don't know. People do some crazy things, and probably they're not even really thinking about it. They're just like, oh man, I gotta go while I can go. And then once they're on the road, it's like they have nothing to be impatient for, because they're already going the way they need to go, so no problems. Cruise up through here. Whoop. The only downside about getting a modern bike is that it might be a little bit of a mind trick, like which foot has to shift gears, because on this bike the gear shift lever is on the right, but on modern bikes it's on the left. So that might be a little bit of a little confusing there, but I think I could probably make it work. I'm reasonably intelligent, marginally coordinated. That's right, reasonably intelligent and marginally coordinated. Boop. Now I get to go through the land of stop signs. Stop-ish. Yes, why don't we stop again? I would love to. I mean, why not? In fact, I like it so much, why don't you give me a couple more? Just because. And again, they still have that construction site out there. I wonder what kind of big thing they are building out here. Maybe like an apartment building? Wouldn't seem like this would be an area where they'd put like a business. Are you gonna do it? Alright. It's like, I'm watching you. I'm seeing where you going. I don't trust you. Yay, my friend, the stop sign. Once more, we meet again. Semi-stop. Partial stop. Sometimes I think stop sign, I mean, I know that you have to stop and look for those, but sometimes I almost feel like it should be more like a slow sign. It's like, if you can slow up to the line and see that there's no one coming, I don't know that you really have to come to a absolute complete stop. I mean, I know it's the law and stuff, but we're not talking about what's legal. We're talking about right now what makes sense. And to me, it seems like that makes more sense. But what do I know? I'm just a man on a motorcycle. Riding against the wind. Oh, yeah. Alright. Holcomb Bridge Road. My favorite and the bane of my existence. It's looking like I'm pretty much just going to have to wait for the traffic light to give me an assist on this, because I don't think... Oh, there we go. I see you turning yellow. I see you, buddy. I see you. And away we go. So good to be on the wind, though, and I can actually see. I mean, I'm even having to wear my shades right now. It's so bright. Gotta wear shades. I'm doing all right, getting good grades. Do it, do it, do it! Thank you. I'm doing alright, getting good grades, the future's so bright. I'm riding my motorcycle, woo! Little change up right there at the end. Where do I want to go? Let's go to the right here. Just kind of loop around. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the Moto Vlog today. So remember, ease up on the throttle and hold on to the bottle. This is Mr. Dudecool. Oh yeah.